Hi there, this is part 2 of my video about participle clauses. In part 1 we discussed the rules, when we use participle clause, what a participle clause is, and today we are going to consider some examples from ЗНО tests of previous years. So let's get started. 2013 main session. We have some other gaps along the way. We need the context, so we have another 4 or 5 gaps, so we will discuss them but briefly, focusing mainly on participle clauses. Why does the toucan have such an enormous beak? Have, it's the present simple, we have does, so have. The answer we learned in August may be that it uses it to regulate body temperature. Gap 34, an infinitive to regulate, because this is the purpose clause. It uses it for what purpose? Why? To regulate body temperature. Infrared measurement taken just before sleep shows that the bird's long beak, which can grow to a third of its body size, gets hotter, suggesting the bird uses it in the pre-sleep cooling process. Okay, gap 35. Taken just before sleep. Measurement taken just before sleep. This is the participle clause. It's in red. If we develop it into a relative clause, we will get infrared measurement, which was taken just before sleep. Okay, so it's passive. The action is passive. That is why we need the past participle here, taken. Which can grow to a third of its body size. When we divide something into 3 parts, we have 1/3. So it's a third. Gets hotter, suggesting the bird uses it in the pre-sleep cooling process. So the beak gets hotter, or what is it? Long beak gets hotter, and it suggests, or which suggests, this fact suggests that the bird uses it in the pre-sleep cooling process. The action is active, and when the action is active, we use the present participle or ing form, in other words. At other times, as the external heat rises, so too does the heat of the toucan's beak, while its core body heat stays the same. No gaps here. Because the tower tilted in different directions in its first years, it is slightly curved like a banana. Engineers are working on the footing of the tower rather than the structure, hoping to ease the top back about 20 centimeters, but it means that the 800-year-old tower will remain leaning. Alright, gap number 36. So here we have a participle clause which is in red, and we have the present participle hoping, and this is because we can change the sentence and we will have 2 verbs relating to one subject. So what do I mean here? Engineers are working on the footing and they are hoping. Okay? 2 verbs for one subject, and in such cases we can replace one verb with the present participle, and thus we will get a participle clause, hoping to ease the top back about 20 centimeters. Gap 37, the 800-year-old tower, which means that it is 800 years old. In such cases, I always say to my students, 5-star hotel. So memorize this combination of words. 5-star hotel, no ending s. So the 800-year-old tower. According to the University of Tübingen archaeologist Nicholas Connor, more than 35,000 years ago, our ancestors living in present-day southwestern Germany were playing sophisticated music. So in this case we have participle clause here. Our ancestors who lived. Okay? So the action is active, that is why ing 4. This interesting memorial showing Albert Einstein seated on a 3-step bench of Mount Airy, North Carolina, is present at the National Academy of Sciences, Washington, D.C. Okay. Actually, we have a couple of participle clauses here. Look, this interesting memorial which shows, the action is active, showing Albert Einstein, who is seated. Okay? So he is seated. The action is passive, that is why past participle here. On a 3-step bench of Mount Airy. Again, 3-step bench. Remember the previous gap we had 800-year tower, 5-star hotel, so no endings. 3-step bench of Mount Airy is present. In this case, always when you deal with clauses, you need to define where the main clause is. Because if we are talking about clauses, we mean that the sentence is complex. It consists of several clauses maybe, or at least 2 clauses. So we need to define where the main clause is, and then we will be able to deal with the subordinate clause. In this sentence, memorial is present. That's the main clause. It's the subject is present. Okay? And the rest of it are clauses. Which memorial? Which shows Albert Einstein. Showing, so we need a clause here, participle, present participle. Einstein, who is seated. So all these, okay, are clauses. And the main clause, memorial, is present. So we have 2 participle clauses in this sentence, showing Albert Einstein and Einstein, who is seated. The broad state is shown holding a paper with mathematical calculations. In this case, we have the main clause. The broad state is shown, yes, the passive verb, holding a paper. We can change this sentence and we will get 2 verbs for 1 subject. The statue is shown and it holds a paper. 1 subject is in the passive and the other one will be active, holds. Okay? So when we can change the participle clause into a verb relating to the subject, so we can use the present participle here. The orphaned apes babies in Indonesia will learn how to make nests, search for food and climb trees in the hope they can be returned to the wild. Gap 54, be returned. This is the passive, which comes after the modal, can be returned. So we just omit to be returned. Can be returned to the wild. The apes spend all day at the special school area of forest created by International Animal Rescue and even get to spend the night. Here we have the participle clause. It's highlighted in red. The action is passive, which was or that was created by International Animal Rescue. If it's passive, so we use the past participle created. Again, if we consider this sentence, this complex sentence, so let's define where the main clause is. Apes spend all day and get to spend the night. Apes, it's the subject. They do what? Verb. Spend, and they get to spend the night. So now it becomes obvious that we are dealing with the clause here, and we can't use creates, for example, because it's like a verb. we just need to think of a participle of what clause it is. Is it a participle clause, maybe relative clause, maybe some other clauses? So it's definitely a subordinate clause, which is a participle clause in our case created. Scientists and anyone fascinated by ancient cultures thought that they could be Inca roads, irrigation plants, images to be appreciated from primitive hot air balloons, and sometimes imagined them to be landing strips for alien spacecraft. Gap 36, it's participle clause. The action is passive. Let's check if it's passive. Scientists and anyone who or that were fascinated. Okay, they were fascinated by ancient cultures. So the action is passive here. Again, we have a complex sentence. This is the subordinate clause, and the main clause, scientist and anyone, thought. That's the verb. Why past simple? Because if we continue to read, we will see that the other actions like could, imagined, are in the past simple. So we deal with the past. We need something relating to the past, and we are choosing thought. That is the past simple form of the verb think. The South African media speculated excitedly about whether the crop circle, located outside of Johannesburg, was the work of a UFO. Gap 38. Speculated how? We need an adverb, excitedly. What is the crop circle? Which is located outside of Johannesburg. The action is passive, so that is why located. We can't choose anything like a verb, had located or was located, because we are dealing with a subordinate clause. The crop was the work, that's the main clause. This is a subordinate clause, so we need to look for something fitting in the clause, located. Many newspapers and TV and radio shows discussed it, fanning interest in the incident. Popular curiosity grew until February the 14th, when a small detail was pointed out that had previously escaped almost everyone's notice. The circle formed a BMW logo. Gap 40, it's passive in the past simple, because some people, some maybe scientists or researchers pointed out a detail. The action is passive. The circle turned out to be the work of the Hunt Lascaris advertising agency working on behalf of BMW. Gap 41 turned out to be, it's about verb patterns. You need to know which verbs are followed by ing forms, by infinitives, or by bare infinitives, infinitives without to. So turn out is always followed by two infinitives. The circle turned out to be. Gap 42, it's a participle clause. The action is active. Let's check. Advertising agency, which works on behalf of BMW, which works. So the action is active, that is why ing form. Okay, and that's it. Thanks for watching.